Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or your rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And very nice. Knight of Pentacles. This is the card that has the vision of the future. We're talking long-term goals here. Yeah. We're talking those huge, unbelievably great goals that you have. And in order to achieve those, I think first we have to know what they are. And then we have to kind of reverse engineer them. And we have to understand that what we do right now, the changes we make right now, are creating our future self, right? So we know who we want to be, where we want to be, and what we want to be doing. Then we know how to change, how to act, how to behave, what choices to make right now. Every thought, word, and deed right now is creating that future self. Let's put this into some context. Let's see what those future goals are and how we can go about achieving them. Okay, we got a Seven of Wands, all right? We've got a Knight of Swords, 10 of Cups, the Fool, very nice, look at that. We've got a 3 of Swords, we've got a 9 of Cups, 10 and 9 of Cups, very good. All right, 6 of Pentacles, also very good. Ace of Wands, Princess of Swords. We've got 3 court cards here, so I feel like there are other people around you right now that I feel like part of your long-term goals are to have kind of like more harmonious relationships, right? We've got the 6 of Pentacles in the position of the environment. And the 6 of Pentacles is cooperation, it's harmony, it's kind of everybody being at the table together. Right? So I feel like maybe there are some people in your life that you want to have a better relationship with, right? It could be one person, could be more than one. But I feel like that's a big part of it, right? I feel like that is, maybe that's the main thing for you is this relationship. Now, it could be a family member, friend, could be a work relationship, could be a romantic partner, I don't know. I don't think it's a romantic thing, but it could be. But I feel like your long-term goal is to have a table where everybody comes together and there is this harmony, right? There is this kind of, this is, for me, it kind of is like, when you're a kid and, your parents never ate at the dinner table, right? My family did at the beginning, but then our dining table just became a place to put things, right? So it was covered with stuff. And so we didn't really eat there much, in my kind of later childhood years. But I feel like that's kind of what we want. We just want to have this harmony. We want to have everybody over. We want to sit at the table and just have a nice conversation. I feel like that's a really big goal for you. That might not be what we started out talking about. That might not be when I asked you, what are your long-term goals? Maybe we're thinking more kind of practical things. We're thinking more career, more business things. We're thinking more financial goals or health goals, right? Some more kind of earthy things, right? The 6 of Pentacles is also those earthy things. I feel like there's a relationship issue that's kind of in the way of things, or it's not in the way, but it's kind of like we see the air energy going this way. It's kind of a diagonal problem, right? It maybe is not the direct problem, but it's something that's a kind of a side issue, right? So it's maybe preventing us from getting to some of our goals because there is a relationship or more than one that is just not as harmonious as it really could be. Okay, I think the Six of Pentacles is also talking about your physical financial success. Okay, this is the card of material success, right? And if we're thinking the Knight of Pentacles to a Six of Pentacles, you're achieving your goals. Okay, you're going to have this kind of success in your environment. So I think maybe one of your long-term goals is, yes, to have this kind of maybe financial abundance that's more than just kind of a basic foundational level. You want to have all of your needs met, and you want to have a little extra. Right? And I think that little extra is good because it's not just about having a little bit more money. No, it's about having the ability to then focus on other things. Maybe there is a Fool up there too in your spirit that really wants to start new things. Maybe you have a lot of ideas. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to start new businesses, start new relationships. Maybe you want to go on a vacation. Maybe you just want to go walk about for a while, right? The Fool is, I think, really allowed to manifest when we have a kind of foundational success, right? That makes us feel as if, okay, now it's safe for me to go be a fool. Safe for me to go explore and start new things and experiment and take risks, right? The Fool is all about kind of jumping, that blind leap of faith, just taking the risk. Taking the plunge, as it will, kind of a trust fall with the universe. And I think that we really need this financial success, this stability in our lives, and a little bit extra, right? It's a 6, it's not a 4. We need that so that we feel safe activating this Fool energy, because this is at the top. This is what we really want. This is our aspiration, okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it right here. We'll put our very own Kelly Kapoor right on top. And we're not going to look at that, excuse me, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. But it will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. Now, if you feel like you know what that card is, you can go ahead and put a prediction down in the comments at any point during this reading. Okay, let's take a look, because the only major arcana card we have is the Fool. We kind of want to be, part of our goal, I think, is to not be so, I don't know, not be so organized, I guess, or so rigid. We want this kind of freedom, this spontaneity of the Fool. It's almost like we have this horizontal, earthy, terrestrial path, right? We're going this way. And this seems like it is, well, 3 of Swords. It seems like it's just kind of, it's limiting almost. That we're battling life in this forward direction, but what we really want is to kind of go back to this, almost go back to a childhood state, right? That we want to maybe free our inner child a little bit. We want to go back to this state where we could just be free, where we could just kind of be blown about by the wind, go where our heart wants us to go, and just kind of be spontaneous and be free and be just random, I think the Fool is really the center energy. This is the spiritual factor in all of this. Now we've got fire here and here. We've got water. We've got really, really good water. Okay, we have the air that I think is a challenge. Okay, and the air energy, I feel as if this is about a relationship, but I also feel that this is part of your own mind, kind of almost feeling like I'm not allowed to go and do this stuff. I'm not allowed to find this kind of pure happiness again, and it's kind of like our rational mind just says, well, I've got too many responsibilities, right? And even the 7 of Wands just says, there's not enough hours in the day. I got too much to do. I'm already falling behind. I don't have time to go be an artist or wander around dancing in the street and following the fool, the path of the fool. Maybe the fool even represents this aspiration toward a more spiritual life. But then we look at the Seven of Wands and we just think, I don't have time for that. Right? We think it's already a battle for me just to get through the day and get things done that I need to get done. I don't have time for that fool energy. I don't have time to begin anything new. Hobbies, maybe this is literally just kind of having more time for yourself. And for whatever reason, this diagonal relationship, right? It's not being straightforward. It's not so clear what this is. It's sideways, right? And I think that this might be, it could be a love relationship, but I almost feel like it's more like a family member of some kind. And maybe there's this obligation that you feel. Maybe I don't know if you're taking care of somebody, or if for some reason you're supporting somebody else, and that's just kind of one more thing that you're doing here that is taking away from your thought process that like you can activate this fool energy. Okay, so we've got our air. We have the earth energy, and it kind of feels like the earth energy now is getting a little bit eclipsed by all this other stuff that we're talking about. But really, we started out thinking, what are your long-term goals, right? Maybe the long-term goals in a very terrestrial way is, to have success, for this business to take off, for your finances to be just good enough that you don't got to worry about them, right? You want them to be harmonious. You want your physical life to be very stable. You want to have a little bit extra. You want a little bit of abundance, not just kind of subsistence level, but something a little bit extra, And this seems like, this is my long-term goal. But I feel like that's kind of almost what you're supposed to say, I feel like your long-term goals are something a little bit different. I feel like that, yes, we want physical, financial success. We want to be healthy and wealthy, right? You want to have the harmony and the material success, because this card's in the environment. So it's like externally, I want to have success. I want to have financial success, little bit of luxury, right? I want to be able to relax once in a while, take a vacation once in a while. I want my earthly terrestrial life to be relatively successful. What about the internal life? What about what's going on in here, right? So I think what this is really about is we're achieving a certain level of success in our environment, and I think now it's time for you to start focusing on what you really want. Right? As your bank account grows and your finances stabilize, I think we really have to figure out a direction for this fool energy. You have this kind of spiritual wanderlust. I think we're kind of remembering a time where we were happier, where things seemed more free. There were less obligations, there were less struggles, there were less, responsibilities. And it's kind of like our fool is that inner child wanting to go back to a better time. Okay? Now, we cannot go backwards, right? I'm sure people have tried. We can't rewind time. So we have to go forward into this Nine of Cups. This is what it's all about now. We can't go back to the 10. Okay? The 10 was an idealized state of childhood, of when we were younger, just better days, right? But it's idealized. It's a 10. It wasn't this good, We remember it as being this golden age, but it wasn't. I mean, it was good, yeah, I'm sure, but it wasn't as perfect and as ideal as we maybe remember, okay? And we have that Three of Swords in this position here, so it's kind of like we're remembering this past energy a lot different than it actually was. So in some ways, it's kind of saying, let's just not worry about that, Let's think of the future. Let's work forward. Let's be here now. And let's find out what we can do now to pursue our happiness, follow our bliss, right? That's what the fool wants to do. The fool just wants to be able to wander and pursue happiness, right? Not return to some ideal state, some perfected state from the past that may or may not really be as good as we remember. But let's think of what we can do right now, what needs to happen right now. What changes do we need to make so that we can have the success in our environment, but still feel as if we can really begin this soul's journey? Okay, and now I think the Fool, again, this is really the crux of the whole situation. We want to feel a little bit more spontaneous. We want to feel that we can just like let our hair down, that we can just kind of be blown about by the wind a little bit. Wherever spirit takes me, whether it's overseas, international travel, whether it is just into different art forms or different kind of music or different kind of experiences, going to just different places, starting new hobbies, meeting new people, just being a little bit less tied down. Right? The Fool is one of these energies that will just float away unless somebody grabs their foot, and holds on to them and brings them back down. And I think that you've got a lot of energy grounding you. You're very grounded. We're very much in this future success. I'm building this up, right? You're going to be very successful financially in this terrestrial place, but there's something missing. You've got to pursue your happiness, which is different. It's part of it, yeah. But this is not the only part. This physical energy is not all there is. So when I said, okay, what are our long-term goals? It's kind of like we just said, yeah, I'm going to be, healthy and wealthy. That's long-term plan. That's where my mind went too. It automatically was to, how successful do you want to be in 5 or 10 years? What is it going to look like? But we're forgetting a lot of other energy here. We put all these back where they were. Right? Putting all these back where they were. I feel like you're trying to get back to where you were in this perfected state that we thought was just absolutely wonderful. And now with that 7 of Wands, we're struggling to deal with the memories of this past. And we all know that our memories can be faulty. That I might be remembering this past energy from either from childhood or from last week or last year, whatever. That I'm remembering it. 3 of Swords. I'm remembering it in such a way that I'm just nostalgic for it. It was just a better time. It was better days, right? And it's not helping us, I don't think. Because then it's like when we have to stop, we have to be back, clear our eyes, we have to be back in the present moment. It's like, oh, I'm here. Suddenly I'm back in my body in the present day and time. It doesn't have to be that way, right? And so we've got the Knight of Swords underneath everything. And that is part of you. It's underneath the surface. This is that growing part of you that just wants to kind of run away and be the Fool, right? Go join the circus or something, right? Go join a traveling band, let's say, instead of a circus. And this is kind of that impulsive energy, right? And it's kind of like, I do feel that you're a caregiver for someone. I don't know if you're taking care of a sibling or a parent or a family member, but I almost think, and we don't want to talk about this, that there is part of you that just wants to just go away, just be done, right? Just run the other direction and go live your life and be free, right? But you don't do that. We have obligations, we have responsibilities. We are this terrestrial energy as well as this spiritual energy. It's all the same energy, right? So we move over to the path of the serpent, the 9 of Cups. We want to pursue our happiness, and we're going to. We know that it has to be integrated with our physical life and our responsibilities, our challenges of life, but we can do it. And I think what's really going on here is that you're going to have a level of financial success that's going to allow you to activate this Fool energy, allow you to start these new things that you want to do right now in the present. We don't have to just live in the memories of the past. We do it now, right? And so I think the Six of Pentacles is going to happen for you very quickly. I think that I think really what has to happen is we have to get out of this nostalgia. Let's start thinking right now. What do we have to do? Remember at the beginning, Knight of Pentacles. What do we have to do right now to work toward that long-term goal. Now the long-term goal feels a little different. Yeah, it's material success, but it's also being able to activate this Fool energy. Maybe we want to create a little bit of free time. Maybe we want to have a little bit extra money so that we can take a day off and pursue these other interests and hobbies, and maybe have time to all get around the dinner table and have a meal together. Maybe that's really the goal that we're looking for, is to have that kind of, have the ability to slow down a little bit even, and be in the present moment, and do something with that present moment, right? Something other than wishing we were in a different moment, So it feels to me like this financial, physical, health, wealth, success is the focus, but it's the means to an end. That's not the goal itself, right? I think the goal itself is more of that Fool energy. Now, the obstacle really is this Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a card that says, be here now, be in the present moment, right? Be in the present moment, and with the Princess of Swords, these two are saying, be in the present moment and realize that you have to make changes in your life. If you want to have the real success, you want to have the above and below, if you want to have the spiritual energy and the earthly success, right? And this is a whole life. This is an integrated life of the terrestrial and the spiritual, right? And to me, there's no difference. To me, it's all the same energy, right? It's just about making different choices now with the Princess of Swords, choosing to, how do I say this? Get out of that nostalgia. That's a lot of mental energy, a lot of time that could be better spent somewhere else, okay? The Three of Swords is very often us being inside of our head, being in our memories, for better or for worse. We're either reliving good times or we're reliving bad times. But either way, we're in the past. We're not in the present, okay? The Nine of Cups is us now in the present, and the Ace of Wands is us in the present. We can make simple changes in our life that will free up a lot of time and energy and will help us to get this Six of Pentacles and activate this Fool energy. Sometimes the Fool energy is really just being in the moment, being spontaneous, not being in the past, right, or the future, really. Just being here now and seeing what's going on now. And giving that free consciousness, right, that it's kind of this empty awareness, giving it a direction. Okay? And I think this is really, I want to do one Metatron Oracle card. I think this is going to be really good for you. I think your happiness is imminent. I think your success that you're going to experience in the physical world is going to allow you to pursue what really has meaning for you. And I think that there is a relationship with a sibling that needs some kind of harmony, right? I don't know, like I said, it feels like you're taking care of somebody, and it feels like maybe that is a bit frustrating at the moment because it feels like it's any free time you have, I feel like it's already kind of accounted for in this sideways relationship. Inner child, right? Hear me and know me. What did I say about the Fool? It's like your inner child, right? That's confirmation. That's confirmation, Leo. Let's look at the mystery card now. I think the Fool, I think the Eon, judgment, rebirth, reawakening. It's kind of a baptism by fire kind of thing. It's kind of us going through a doorway and saying, things are going to be different from here on out. So maybe the judgment card, maybe the Fool again, right? Maybe more cups. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands right away shows somebody who is overburdened with things, has too much responsibility, right? And so I feel like this is your kind of counter to me, or to Spirit really, not even to me. When I say, hey, there's, we can think of these long-term goals. You have to include yourself in them, right? And I think very often we have these long-term goals, but we don't really consider our inner self, our inner child, right? Or our spiritual energy. We think of our long-term goals, and we don't usually include ourself in that picture, So the Ten of Wands is saying, yeah, I've got too much on my plate. I'm overwhelmed with responsibilities. I think this is a case of the Ten of Wands saying there has to be somebody else to share that load with you. And maybe this sideways relationship, maybe this is somebody that's not carrying their weight. Maybe this is somebody that you're caring for. And then the Ten of Wands would say, we can get somebody else to kind of help out. You deserve a break from that, from whatever it is. You deserve a break. You are not or should not be responsible for carrying all of this burden yourself. Easier said than done. That's why it's a Princess of Swords at the end. It's work. We've got to figure it out. But that's the message. We need these changes. We need to do something different. Something needs to change because you're full up here. This nostalgia that we have for these better days is not going away. The only way that we can fix this is by changing things in the present. Okay, being aware, being here now and seeing what needs to change. And I think the Ten of Wands, this is what really needs to be addressed. The fact that you're carrying all the weight of this on your own shoulders. I think there's a way, we can figure out that way, to relieve you of a little bit of this burden so you have time for yourself. Maybe it's as simple as that, of you having a little bit of time to pursue your own interests, your own happiness, right? And maybe we need to figure out what that even is. Maybe that's why the inner child says, hear me and know me. Maybe we're not really in touch with that energy. We don't know what we want. You give me, a free day to do whatever I want. I don't know what I'm going to do, But I think we're all going to have to figure that out. If you had a day off, one day where you had no obligations, right? You could do whatever you wanted, go anywhere, do anything. What would you do? Would you spend the day in prayer and meditation, in silent contemplation, in a state of gratitude and rest and repose and communion? Would you go on an adventure, right? Would you go get lost somewhere, explore a new city? Would you listen to music all day? Would you watch TV all day? Would you cook? Would you dance all day? Like, what would you do? But you're not going to know if there's just this overwhelming weight on your shoulders. And we thought the Seven of Wands was bad, but it's worse. It's 10. So I think that with this increase of financial success in your life, you need to use some of that financial success to ease yourself of the burden. Find a way to create more time and space for yourself to pursue these, more spiritual, higher aspirations, whatever you want to call it. Okay? But I think the resources are there. That Six of Pentacles is there. And to me, that's the financial success. That's kind of creating a harmonious environment to allow you to transcend a little bit. All right. Now we're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. There's a link up top. There's one down below. You can hear my cat out there in the hallway. New readings for Leo every Tuesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.